I turn the light on, I don't think it make it different. Kind of does. A little bit. You feel me? What's going on, YouTube? It's your boy ATM back again with another video. And in today's video, I wanted to give the ATM gentlemen out there my thoughts on being prepared for women to holler or approach you, right? So I've had this for a while, so this doesn't really bother me per se. And when I say bother, it not in the sense that I'm annoyed by it, but I understand it because I've had it happen to me already. And what I'm alluding to is women approaching you and wanting to get to know you for a relationship or a hookup or whatever it may be. That's neither here nor there. But what the reason I'm saying for the ATM fam out there to be prepared is a lot of women are starting to realize that men not only don't approach. I know there's data that just came out where 80% of guys from like 18, I think, to 25 or 18 to 30, 80% of them don't approach or haven't approached a woman, or I forget how they said it. But I think that's kind of normal now. You know, women have, in a sense, lost some of their value to a lot of guys. The Me Too movement, the men ain't shit, we don't need men mentality, how marriage has become just a cash grab for women to, you know, get money in the end of it, and it's not about love, legacy, long-term commitment, or anything like that, like it used to be back in the day. You know, obviously for resources as well, but and one thing that I appreciate that men do for the younger men, and younger men are heeding some of the warning, is listening to how life has happened to older men or men that are in positions that those younger men potentially may have wanted to be in, a la, you know, marriage. So my thought process is everything that has gone on, how the dating market is going, how, you know, 50% or 45, however it was, by 2030, majority, you know, of single women are going to be, women are going to be single and childless. That stat that we've kind of seen out there for men being the male loneliness epidemic or whatever it is, we're starting to see that that's not a bad thing. It's actually being positive because men are starting to choose peace and leaving, you know, women alone when it comes to relationship wise. So my thought process, I would say now, you know, giving y'all the backstory, is to focus on your health, family, spirituality, whether it be God or whoever you believe in, your goals, whatever your goals may be, and to realize that once you start to take care of yourself, skincare routine, and keeping a shape up and articulating your verbiage, is it verbiage? I think it's verbiage, which is, or your vernacular, if you want to say it, however you want to say it. Getting everything to a decent place, you will start to be approached. And I think also the men who are in that percentage of men who haven't had sex in a couple years or don't really get looked at by women, the goal for y'all is to do what I was saying and change up your attire and start to see how women view you with different hairstyles, with different physiques. I don't think you can do much about your voice. I mean, you can change a little bit about it, but unless you're going to get a different accent or tone, not much is going to change with that. So, you know, you work with things you can work with. Control things you can control, and other things you can't. You don't pay it too much mind. You just roll with it. for all of you out there, depending on, what side of a coin you're on, whether you're really attractive now or you're not really attractive, but you want to be really attractive, is to focus on the things that I talked about. Look towards, your God or God in general, Jesus Christ, whoever you want it to be, and just focus on the things that you can control. I think a lot of women are going to start to approach men, even if they aren't as attractive as the man may be, or they are really attractive. This notion and mindset for us as traditional men, approaching women has kind of died out due to the women with the Me Too movement and saying, y'all are on TikTok. I'm out of TikTok, dude. I'm on YouTube, but I see the TikTok compilations of women saying that they don't want men to approach. They want to be left alone. Don't approach when you're out, blah, blah, blah. So men have kind of adapted to that. Not only have men adapted, but they're moving militant with it. So they're holding the line. And what the line is not approaching women, not trying to get with women, unless you're like out in the dating market or something like that. And I mean, in the clubs and stuff like that, if you go to those type of arenas, you're more likely to approach women and talk, because when you're in a club, a lot of people nowadays don't go to the club to dance and have a good time. They're on their phones, or they're really trying to just hit on 75,000 different chicks and say that, they've talked to this many chicks and blah, 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 which I think is kind of stupid. But now that we are getting to the level where women are starting to see, hey, I might be single and alone with 7 cats if I don't try to talk to a man, or think that a man should, continuously do the traditionally valued thing of approaching and pursuing and chasing and all that. That is kind of dead. And I want the men to see this video to realize, don't chase these women. It is not worth it. They themselves are not worth it, and they know they're not worth it. I'll make a different video on this, but I'll allude to this because I said a little bit earlier. Women have lost their value to men. I think a large quantity of women in relationships only, and I'm not talking about, family members and stuff like that. Those you put to the side. But women that you do not know have lost their value to a lot of men in society when it comes to relationships. So since the value has been lost, they have to figure out a way to get it back, and I think their way of getting it back is being the pursuer. We know that, women there are 3 in Western society, and I'm speaking on America specifically, North America, sorry. There is a 3.5 or 3.8 million person difference when it comes to more women than there are men, right? So there's always going to be a shortage of men than there are women, which concludes that men are more of the prize because they're less out here. Not even getting into, men and women, LGBTQ, married, single, in jail, not in jail. Like, if we were to go through the variables, I think that gap would be even larger. But I think a lot of women are going to talk to men, be more approachable, are going to be more, edit that out, are going to do more, not leave it in, fuck it, are going to do more approaching. That's what I kind of believe, that they're going to start approaching more and seeing that being rejected and that notion of, well, I'm not really looking, I don't think he's really attractive, but I appreciate the confidence of approaching, and men really should be approaching. No, all that shit is dead. We don't care to boost your ego to approach. Ma'am, you're going have to bring it. And for a lot of women, they're going to be single because they view themselves as the prize and don't think that they should have to approach a man. They think it should be the other way around, which it used to be in the patriarchy. But now that a lot of you women don't like the patriarchy and don't like traditionally valued things unless it benefits you, you're going to have to start to not only be more modern like you already are, but pursue if you want a relationship. And even though many say they don't, they really do want love, they want a relationship. If they're heterosexual, I'm not talking about anybody else. If they're heterosexual, they want love, they want a relationship subconsciously. They don't want to truly be alone. So that's kind of my thought process on it. I do think a lot of women are going to start to approach. So be wary, men. You don't always have to be an asshole and shoot all women down that you aren't really attracted to. I personally have had women that I was not attracted to at all approach me, say they like me or whatever, and they would like to get to know me. And I would say, I was always respectful, and I'm always going to be respectful, even unless they're obviously being an ass. I'm always going to be respectful and say, hey, I'm not really interested, but I appreciate coming up, X, Y, and Z. I wish you nothing but the best on your journey of, finding somebody. Because, it does take courage to come out and approach somebody, but I'm not going to sit here and keep saying, yeah, keep approaching. No, hopefully you do find somebody and you go about your business. But that's kind of the video. Sorry if you see everything kind of bouncing up and down. I'm driving to the gym. Got legs today. Good legs and a little bit of arms. But I wanted to make this video for y'all. And yeah, man, just be on the lookout. If you like the woman and she approaches, that's great. If you don't like the woman and she approaches and she's respectful about it, be respectful back. You respectfully decline. The only time you should be an ass is if she is being kind of like an asshole. But a lot of women who do the approaching don't come off as assholes because they're expecting the rejection more than they are the being accepted. So a lot of them are not going to be as much of an asshole when it comes to the approach. But if on the flip side, a lot of them are starting to become ignorant with how they are declining some men's advances. But it's okay, right? Because things always do work out in mysterious ways. But yes, to the ATF fam, I am signing out.